yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na! Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na. MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na, yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na, yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na, yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Kahit ano ang mangyari.
We are coming back to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex for the second game of your MPBL Tuesday. And now we shall feature Imus Agimat and Negros Muscovados. Jared Chavez is now with a new team in the MPBL. Same goes for Oren Katakutan. So let's see what they can do, what they can contribute to their respective teams, as Negros is 5-10 in our campaign. They're coming off of a win, while Imus hasn't won a game yet. They're 0-15 so far. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mixcom is at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez and Mika Abisamis. Now, because we have an engineer here beside me, let's talk numbers once more. Imus actually allows the most number of points scored by their opponents in our league, while Negros they score the second least amount of points per game. What do those numbers tell you?
Well, primarily, I think it's really going to be more on the defensive end, lalo na on the side of Imus. Negros loves to start their fast break with their rebounds, and then it eventually turns into assist and three-point makes. And so to cover the length of the floor and to be able to defend against it is going to be a tall order against Imus, lalo na when they go up against Negros.
Would you say that there's a higher possibility that we would reach 100 points compared to us being stuck at 70 points?
If they don't stop that fast break, yes, most probably we will.
All right, so now let us continue talking about our teams, their previous appearances in our campaign, beginning with the Negros Muscovados. They are actually coming off of a big win versus Mindoro. That's by 4 points.
Yeah, and yung game na yon, they edged out Mindoro 68-64. It was a competitive one, actually. Negros took the first quarter by 1 point. They trailed at the half, regained it entering the fourth quarter. But in the final minutes, the big run to retake the lead eventually secured that win. Jeremy Cruz led the team with 17 points, and Palma also had 16 in that game. So it really goes down, I guess, to the excellent field goal shootings at 56% para dito sa Negros. And they're running the flow of the offense, lalo na inside the paint. That's a +8 in points in the paint and a +8 in fast break points as well.
We saw a highlight of Mark Atabay, who's now reunited with J.R. Chavez, and you mentioned Renz Palma. Are you actually expecting them to run even more with the presence of Chavez?
Yeah, definitely. Kasi alam mo, if you have a big man na sanay ka na makasama sa floor to get that rebound and lead out to the fast break, that combination is going to be something to watch out for in this game.
On the other end, let's talk about Imus Agimat, a team that has struggled all season long, although they already gave us such a wonderful performance versus Bicol a couple of games back. So let's see what they can do later on. But now we shall feature Jeremy Cruz versus Mindoro. He had 17 points and 6 rebounds in that previous outing.
Yeah, he's one guy that really has to start taking over para dito sa Negros, because alam naman natin yung scoring nito ni Jeremy is very vital, lalo na in the point production of their team, and they're gonna need them more, especially in this game where they expect to keep on running.
Okay, can he get his shots up? Now let's talk about Imus. In their previous game, they lost big time versus Zamboanga.
Yeah. Heartbreaking. Well, that loss really just tells you na decent yung field goal shootings, but less field goal makes. 18 less field goal makes. They got dominated on the glass and the paint. Minus 15 rebounds, tas 28 yung ginive up mong points in the paint, tapos hindi mo ma-defend yung transition, yung minus 29 fast break points. So, medyo mahirap talaga yung laro na yon, and mas lalo pang pahirapan yan kasi ito, medyo scoring-wise, something to look forward to itong Negros then as Imus tries to battle against them.
All right, now we turn you over to our arena announcer to get things going. It is Miguel Perey.
Sports Complex. The Negros Muscovados are up against the Imus Agimat for our second game. Live on the official MPBL Facebook page, YouTube channel, MPTV Signal Channel 98, MPTV Channel 53 on satellite, and on Filipinas Live app. The 2024 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 6, presented by Extreme. Here are the starters. Beginning with the Negros Muscovados. Starting at forward number 20, Mark Atabay. Center number 6, John Gabriel. One guard number 2, Jeff Lorenzo. Also at forward number 21, Jeremy Cruz. And the other guard number 77, Renz Palma. Their head coach is Bonnie Garcia. Assistant coaches Juan Miguel Martin, J.M. Lagumen, and Arvel Cavaling. Team managers are Randall Patricio, Ruel Weber, and Rocky Gomez. Team owners are John Gilbor and Grace Gilbor. Now, the starting 5 for the Imus Agimat VA Drones. Starting at guard, number 12, Jameson Hiro. Also at guard, number 77, Carlo Velasco. Starting at center, number 7, Tane Davis. Forward, number 22, Rich Popovich. And the other forward, number 33, Carlo De Chavez. Their head coach is Eric C. Assistant coaches Joseph Ochada, Marlon Zambrano, and AJC. Team consultant is Rick Katakutan. Team owner Ruby Navarro.
Reference for
We have our starting fives brought to you by New Star Max. Win to the max. Jeff Lorenzo, Renz Palma, John Gabriel, Mark Atabay, and Jem Cruz for Negros. And then we have a new-look Imus team with Jameson Hero, Carlo Velasco, Mitchell Davis, Richard Popovich, and Carlo De Chavez. A couple of players transferring from Val City, some returning to the MPBL. Carlo De Chavez actually came from Thailand, played 3x3 basketball there. His kuya, Chris De Chavez, is with Val City. So hindi sila reunited, but they're still both in the MPBL. As we thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez and Mika Besames. This is Jameson Hero attacking quickly. How about Mitchell Davis losing his balance? No basket. Counter. Jem Cruz. Good hands by Jameson Hero.
Yeah, that's good.
Back and forth. We were going already. Jeff Lorenzo tried to go for his own counter steal. But it's Imus who will control. Yeah, possession for Jameson Hero, bringing down that basketball. Ang daming interesting new additions.
Yeah, actually, interesting yung addition ng mga teams.
It's a steal and a breakaway layup for Jeff Lorenzo.
Well, in terms of turnovers per game, medyo mataas ang ranking nitong Negros. And so kung ikaw ang Imus, kailangan mas maging efficient ka. But you cannot allow turnovers either from your end or create more para dito sa Negros.
Carlo De Chavez, three-pointer. No good. Even with a hand in his face.
Yes.
But it helps that his release is from way up. As Jem Cruz releases and misses. Another try for them. Renz Palma at the corner. In and out. Ball tapped away in favor of Imus.
Those two are some of the reasons kung bakit mas maraming field goal attempts itong Negros over Imus, because of those two guys, Jeremy and Renz Palma. Those guys would love to run transitions, and kaya naman sila ang mas better fast-breaking team amongst these two.
Velasco fires, no good. Rebound Palma. And here's Jeff Lorenzo, the former Pasig City point guard. Cruz onto John Gabriel, formerly of Pangasinan. Cruz, Atabay, missing. Here's Hero. Almost another steal by Lorenzo. And Jameson just threw the ball away. The pass was too high for Carlo De Chavez.
I think that's one part of the maturation of Jameson Hero that he has to learn. He has to understand that, you know, your duty as a point guard is to safely bring that ball up court, set up the table to run your offense. And kung nagmamadali ka, mukhang walang control yung team mo kung ikaw mismo nagmamadali as a point guard.
Lalo na ngayon, ang laki ng responsibilidad niya para sa Imus.
That's right.
Velasco to Hero. That's another turnover, but Velasco thought he was fouled.
Yes. And Imus is just so different without Tapeño and without Sumido in there. You know, that's your top scorer from the starter standpoint and your top bench guy in Sumido. You lost both of them, and people got to step up.
Sumido is number 3 in the league in scoring, averaging 19 points per game. Tapeño, before he left for college, or as he goes back to his college school, he was one of the best in the league in a lot of categories, including rebounding. His percentages from the field were actually impressive as well.
At saka you're not surprised na isa sa mga top rebounding na players, because normally pag tumira siya, he always goes for his own rebound. He follows it.
The score is 2-0. Negros with the advantage. This is quite similar to what happened in the first game.
Yes.
Where Mindoro took a lot of time before they scored their first points. Rebound Hero. And that's a foul by Jeff Lorenzo.
And this is a very slow start. If you're looking from the perspective of Renz Palma and Jeremy Cruz, those guys are scorers, and so you get them early in a very good rhythm. That's what you want to happen. Pero pag hindi na nakukuha yon, medyo, you want them to kick in already.
Lalo na si Renz Palma, who's number 7 in the league in scoring at 15.5 per game. But we are still young in this matchup, and that's a young man for you. Carlo De Chavez able to score his first 2 points as a member of Imus Agimat.
I remember Carlo back in some of the tournaments that I got to cover them with his brother Chris. Man, those two are difficult to cover ng sabay sa floor.
Ibang klase ang kumpiyansa ng batang
Oo.
yan. Same goes for Jameson Hero.
Yeah. And pag tinignan mo ng ganyan si Jameson, parang feeling mo mas more of a scoring guard siya than a point guard, you know. But, you know, he's got to play that role now and embrace it as a point guard and set it up para sa Imus.
They are looking for their first win after all. Let's see if this formula will actually work for them. Atabay rolls and misses, but there's the putback by John Gabriel.
Yan naman ang isang addition na siguradong gusto-gusto ni Mark Atabay. Na pag tumira ako, may re-rebound na iba. And John Gabriel is very much a welcome addition para dito kay Mark. Kasi dati pag tumira siya, siya rin umahabol.
Exactly.
Diba?
Mark Atabay has gone a long way, by the way,
Yes.
in his MPBL career. As one of the projects of Coach Elvis Tolentino last year. They got the block. Palma swings it over. Jem Cruz. Couple of dribbles. Jem puts it up and he misses. Rebound to nobody. And the ball will stay with Negros.
And Jem still couldn't get anything going. He's 0 out of 2 or 0 out of 3 from the field right now.
You know that he won't shy away from
Yeah.
shooting. Jem Cruz started this season very well, by the way.
Oo. At saka dapat lang na hindi siya mag-shy away kasi scorer yan eh. You have to forget about the previous shot. Make or miss, you have to forget what happened. Just keep on shooting.
He just missed another one. Now the ball is with John Gabriel. Mismatch against Popovic. 7 on the shot clock. John misses. Negros will keep possession again.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot of perimeter shot, twice more than that of Imus, pero the conversions halos pareho lang, dalawang field goal makes para dito sa Negros and Imus.
Baseline inbound. Jem Cruz, another shot. Finally a
There you go.
conversion.
That's all he needed, and you expect more from Jem.
So he's 1 out of 4 from the field. Tally is 6-4. Carlo De Chavez on to Richard Popovic. That guy played very well versus Bicol.
Yes.
A three-pointer. Let me tell you his stats once more. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals versus Bicol.
Yeah, and parang he almost really just waited for that game to be able to have a breakout performance.
And that was the best opportunity for them to have won a game so far. But things seem to be promising.
Yes. There you go. That beautiful pass by Jameson Hero. Tried to attack, waited for that defense to come, and just dropped it off to Carlo.
This is a different team now.
Yes, agree. Wait till Oren comes in.
Oh, yes. 9-6. Renz Palma. Jem Cruz will fire. Short rebound, Gabriel. They are the taller team after all, talking
Yes.
about Negros. Now Imus is on the run. Popovic feeds. That's off of Palma.
Yeah, that ball hit the foot of Palma as Popovic was trying to pass it off.
Now we have our play of the game brought to you by Suzuki. Jameson Hero passed at the last second onto his cutter in Carlo De Chavez. Flex on them. Oh, he's one of the most animated guys that we have in the league. Actually, silang dalawa ng kapatid niya.
Yeah.
Carlo misfires. There's a loose ball foul.
And the common ground, aside from, you know, mataas ang kumpiyansa at very animated on the floor, both love shooting threes. But I guess, percentage-wise, mas favorable kay Chris.
Balik tayo sa Negros. They're down by 3. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Atabay to Jem Cruz. Pinapalabas, Jeff Lorenzo. Instead, they went to Palma. Bounce pass onto J.R. Flores. Palma. Drive. Wild sequence there. No foul. Forward pass. Hero all alone for 2.
Si Jameson Hero is kind of like J.R. Chavez, pero mas in control si J.R. Chavez. In terms of speed, getting out there, finishing in the fast break, halos pareho eh.
Well, JR has gotten more chances to prove himself so far
Yes.
in his MPBL career.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Jem Cruz, another jumper. This time it's a 3.
Yeah. He's got 5 so far in the game. And him finding his stroke, he's 2 out of 3 on his last 3 attempts so far.
9-11. Popovic. Now it's De Chavez. Onto his roller. Davis will miss. Rebound Gem. He goes to Palma. Renz.
Good deflection, quick hands. And Davis knew it the moment he missed that floater up close. Sabi niya, sayang.
We have our fast break of the game brought to you by New Star Win to the Max.
Almost everyone and Imus is undersized on their position if you look at it.
Well, they can make use of their speed.
Yes, turn to speed instead. That's right.
Hero made use of his speed in that previous sequence. That brought us that fast break. You did see a couple of subs. And now it's Palma missing. Rebound Velasco. Davis looking for a teammate. De Chavez will drive.
Good kick.
Oh! Popovich unable to control that ball.
I've always loved how the vision of Carlo De Chavez. I mean, for him to drive that side of the floor and see Popovich on the other end takes a lot of peripheral vision.
Would you say that 3x3 basketball takes a lot of peripheral vision as well?
Yes. Lalo na sa bilis ng laro na yun.
Ikot-ikot ka dun eh.
Yeah. That's a quick game.
Actually, andun nga ang pagod mo dun.
Yeah.
Nakakahilo nga siya minsan eh.
Yes.
There's a foul on that loose ball sequence. This three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Gem Cruz, corner three, no problem. At the start of the season, Gem was one of the top guys in three-point shooting.
That's right.
Here he is again. Back-to-back three-pointers for Gem Cruz.
And on cue. Ang maganda nito yung pasok rin ni John Ray Villanueva. No? We'll see how this goes, this combo.
That's a nice matchup against Orin Katakutan.
Right.
Step back three for Orin, no good. Ball tapped away by Mark Atabay.
Orin at one point, really one of the key pieces in that Valenzuela rotation. Sinabi mo nga kanina, mga clutch jumpers niya in those wins.
I was actually surprised that he transferred.
Yeah.
Nakala ko magiging main guy na siya sa Val City.
Yeah, akala ko nga yung dadagdagan lang yung yung pyesa kasama siya eh. I guess it's not just us, even the others are surprised.
But then again, Paulo Hubalde is there among others.
Yeah.
As Gem Cruz misfires and there's a loose ball foul. That was on Malimban.
But Valenzuela's done a good job of moving pieces. I mean, those players that they put in there, the new pieces, makes for this, part of the season even more interesting.
We haven't seen the best of them yet.
Yes, agree.
Watch out for the next game of Val City.
Yeah.
Ball tapped away. Negros will get another chance with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining before the end of one. It's going to be a sideline inbound. John Ray Villanueva transferring from Parañaque. This is John Formento leaning in. That's a foul. Basket and one.
And John Formento really just taking off from where he started in that last game for Negros. Him and Renz Palma were the two guys that closed out that game, especially in the second half.
12 points for John Formento in 10 minutes of play.
Yes.
Wow, that was a very efficient outing for him versus Mindoro.
He was really very solid that game. And the thing is, ginawa niya yon in moments na kailangan pumuntos nitong Negros. I mean, he wasn't afraid of the moment. He just kept going at it.
And that has dominoed onto Coach Bonnie's trust for him this game. As then De La Cruz checks in, another guy transferring from Val City. Oh, by the way, he's facing his former team, Negros.
Ah, yeah.
Last year.
Oh, last year, no?
Katakutan, hounded. Orin, no good. And here comes Negros. Formento. John goes to the corner. Gem Cruz. The trailer is John Ray, who leans in. No bounce. Rebound to Orin Katakutan. How about that handle?
Yep.
Cross court. De Chavez fakes. There is a foul.
I like this trio of Carlo, Orin, together with De La Cruz. I like these three.
Why?
Because I think they bring a lot of versatility and flexibility on the floor for Imus. Lalo na scoring-wise.
Dem De La Cruz, short, rebound Flores. 15 seconds to go before the end of one. Formento. On to JR. Back to Jan. An opening for him. Drive and kick. John Dre for three. No good. Rebound to Imus de Chavez. 2 seconds. Carlo, does he know about it? Carlo de Chavez loses time. That's not going to count.
Yeah, he was actually waiting for someone to move over to the other side of the floor to try balance it out, but no one got there, and so time ran out.
We have our first quarter highlights. We did mention this is a different looking Imus team.
Yeah.
And it's very promising, Coach Mike.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, we'll see in one more quarter, lalo na with this man right here. Jameson Hero has been a guy that's stepped up huge para sa Imus.
On the other end, that is Jem Cruz, who will never shy away from shooting. 8 points to lead the way among all scorers in this game. This first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX.
Back at the Caloocan Sports Complex for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. You know, as I entered the dugout of Imus, I encountered a kid like Giddy. Coach Eric Cias is extremely happy for the almost revamp of this Imus squad. I will just mention again, the aggressive Carlo de Chavez, Jonix Rosales, Carlo Velasco, Nem de la Cruz, Davis Hero. At ang tanong ko kay Coach Eric, dapat na ba kayo katakutan? He said, si Orin lang, hindi ako. Lost JR Sumido around 30 points per game, but he said dreams do come true. For him, he does not need superstars, but a bunch of warriors. Awe moment for Coach Eric, struggling for 3 months now. Mix Coach Mike.
And that's an awe moment for us. Naipasok pa ni Mika Besamis yun.
Naipasok mo pa yun, Mika.
Although, we have been saying na iba ang itsura ng Imus. Although, execution would be a story for them in this game.
Yes, agree.
How about in the first quarter? Kumusta ang executions ng teams natin?
6 of 24, 5 of 17. Medyo struggle a little bit. Lalo na yung sa mga early parts, no? Na nahirapan sila makapuntos.
By the way, yung mga binanggit ni Mika, ang dami nun ah. That's like half a team.
Oo. At saka ano nag-iba talaga yung ano I guess the personality of the team should change now.
Parang si Popovich nga lang yung ano
Naiwan.
Oo. May iba pa dyan, for sure. Pero sa mga naglaro so far, mukhang si Popovich pa lang.
Yeah. Pero ang laking bagay rin talaga ng Jameson Hero na napunta dito sa Imus.
Oh, they need a point guard.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Jonix Rosales who's playing the 1 position for them. As a foul is called inside. And it's...
Malimban.
Yeah, Malimban called for it. Ito yung Ryan Reyes. He's the Ryan Reyes of Negros.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of living up to his name, there's another Ryan Reyes in Philippine basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yun, kapanahonan ni Mika Besamis yun.
Oo.
Yung original Ryan Reyes.
I'll never forget Ryan because he's one of those early PBA players na I got to encounter with. He's ibang klase rin maglaro yun. Defense, offense, lalo na defense.
Right. I love that 2006 championship team with Kelly Williams.
Yep.
But now we shall focus on Negros.
Yeah.
Who will have a bucket scored by John Ray Villanueva. More importantly, their lead is 9.
Yeah. And, doing everything that they can right now. Second chance points. Pag tinignan mo ang Negros, they're 10-0. All in favor of Negros pagdating sa second chance points.
Great execution right there by the Negros Muscavados. John Ray Villanueva continues to prove himself here in the MPBL, but he did have a conversation and he said that do not be surprised if he will be back with Coach Chola Villanueva in the next years. 20-11. we present to you our fan of the game. Brought to you by Jinky Skin, another beauty at the sideline. This is our second game for today. Later on, Davao will go up against Caloocan Batang Kankalu. But now, we have Orin Katakutan representing Imus. As they take on the Negros Muscovados. Right now, they're down by 9 with over a minute gone by in the second quarter.
Halos di mo na nga makilala tong Imus with the new guys that came in.
Oh, there's another guy who has stayed. Miko Gimpayan. He's now on the floor. The brother of Jaymar. Villanueva, no good on the layup. Rebound to Orin, who will lose space.
And so far, Negros really living up to the expectations from the numbers perspective. The rebounds really have been on their end. 20 versus 11. And kaya kita mo, offensive rebound na naman yun, no? Yeah.
And the score is 20
and 11, right?
How rare is that? Renz Palma drives. That's a foul.
Si Renz hasn't gotten himself going here. He had a few looks from the outside. This time around, sinubukan niya ipasok sa loob, try to dribble penetrate. But still couldn't get any. Good thing it's still their possession.
In their previous game, Palma had 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Almost a triple-double. Katakutan. He will fly.
Wow.
As per usual.
Ibang klase yung upper body control, no?
I'm not going to be surprised if he's going to be the new J.R. Sumido of Imus.
Could be.
Averaging 20 points per game.
Yeah. Or even the new Luis Tapeño. Could be too.
Pwede. Pero iba rin talaga yung
Sumido.
playing style niya, no? So, kina Tapeño and Sumido.
Yeah.
We're just talking about scoring here in general. As a foul is called. A pushing foul in that loose ball sequence. Now we have our fast break of the game brought to you by New Star. Win to the max. Orin Katakutan. There goes that man.
Yeah.
Flying once again.
Ibang klase yung take-off nun, tsaka yung control. And the grace that goes with that shot.
Mga ganyan. Dapat katakutan.
Oo naman.
A miss by Hiro. Ball tapped away in favor of Negros.
And I guess nagli-lead sa rebounds itong Negros over Imus is because, like what we said earlier, pretty much undersized in most of the positions. Lalo na sa bigs, no?
They're hefty though.
Yeah, hefty, yeah.
This duo of De Chavez and Davis should be hefty enough for that 4 and 5 positions.
Pero ika nga ng isa sa mga coach na nakilala ko, the game is still a 10 feet game. And so height is always going to be an advantage.
Let's see if J.R. Flores and company can capitalize on that. As Gayolingo scores, this is a guy who has amazed me just by wearing his jersey. His jersey number is 04. So that would be listed as 4 in our box score. But I had to ask him, bakit ganyan ang jersey number mo? And he said, birthday ng tatay ko yan.
Yeah.
And so, how does that make sense? And he said, di ba sinusulat ang birthday ng 04?
Before.
04? April 4 ang birthday ng tatay niya. Ayun po ang kwento natin. And now we have concluded na pwede po magsuot ng ganyang number sa ating liga.
Yeah, and marami mga players na mayroong mga reason for their jersey numbers.
Oo naman. But that's the first time that I've seen something like that.
What was your jersey number before?
18.
Why?
Corny eh.
Ano?
Class number ko.
Promise?
Tapos, ay, yung kasi yung okay, medyo mayabang to pero yun yung class number ko nung nag-salutatorian ako nung grade school.
Okay.
Kaya parang naging lucky charm ko siya nung high school.
Okay. You deserve that number, though.
Yes.
Salutatorian ka eh.
Thank you. 18 din ang number ni Ryan Reyes. We just passed the ball onto John Ray Villanueva, who will now drive. But he passed the ball onto the wrong guy.
Again, so nag-usapan natin, you can't turn the ball over either team. You got to be very efficient. And normally, itong Negros averages 12 only turnovers per game. Matter of fact, they're ranked 5th season-wide here. number 1 is Quezon. They only have 10.
Yes. I remember we talked about that last Saturday in
Yeah.
Nueva versus Pampanga.
Yeah.
When they had a very efficient game. And Flores
Good
went down.
defense, yeah.
Enriquez also went down. And this is a breakaway layup for
Yeah.
J.R. Flores.
Good defense right there.
Back with the Chavez. Lem de la Cruz, nice cut. I want to mention si Enriquez, si Martin Enriquez. So he's the third guy, third mainstay that we have seen so far in this Imus lineup. Alam mo, malaking testament din yun sa level of play nila. The fact na na-retain sila.
Yeah. Kasi the mere fact na you stayed despite all these changes speaks a lot of how you are a good contributor para dito sa team mo. And so if they kept you, then that's a plus.
But can they translate that trust onto an actual win? The lead is 8 off of that free throw conversion. Pio Longa is in the game for the first time. Rocking his new hairstyle. Naka-spike pataas. It's been a while.
Medyo nakatayo lang konti, no?
Uso yan dati. Back when we were in high school, yung kabatch ko naman yan si Pio. Gayolingo. Drive and feed. Ryan Reyes. No good. Out of bounds in favor of Imus.
Yeah, it's really about shot making. Gayolingo did the right thing of passing it off once that defender cut him off on that drive lane. But Ryan's got to make those shots.
Martin Enriquez on to Davis. Now it's the Chavez. You give him space, he will shoot. Just short. Pareho sila ng kuya niya. Hindi nahihiyag kahit gano'ng kalayo.
Tsaka yung tira nila parehong diretso palagi. No? Bihira makikita mong tabingi. And that's a mark of a really good shooter. Hindi yung papuntang kaliwa, papuntang kanan. It's really just straight up.
On the other end, Villanueva misfired. And the ball went out of bounds. It's been quite slow in terms of field goal conversions lately. Well, the percentages are near 30% for both squads.
Right. Just 16 field goals to show between these two. Out of almost 50 attempts. So medyo mababa yan collectively.
The Chavez now at the low block. Carlo. We ought to see more of that from him. As then De La Cruz was fouled on his drive.
Tsaka maganda kay Carlo is when he's checked outside, he can actually put the ball on the floor and make decisions from there. So he's not going to be trapped or what have you.
Well, that's where he can use his heft.
Yes.
Bumping his way through down low. As we just saw that foul. And our reigning slam dunk champion checks in. CJ Ganya, formerly of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns and the Pangasinan Heatwaves. He was dubbed last year as the best dunker of Pampanga. Binigay na sa kanya ni Encho Serrano yun. Dahil nag-slam dunk champion siya. Kahit na nagkakaroon sila ng sarili nilang dunk competitions sa kanilang practices.
Last year, that was the one against Poy Poy. No?
Yes.
Yeah, last
Poy Poy
year,
lost in the finals.
Lost in the finals, yeah.
Wala eh. Si Poy Poy, nawala yung efficiency niya sa dunking nung dunk contest natin.
Siguro naubos to sa dami ng dinunk niya in season.
That was against Bulacan when he had 7 dunks.
Right. And those could have been entries na sa loob ng slam dunk, no?
Right, oo.
Diba?
Actually, halos pareho lang din naman yung ginawa niya. Sam Peralta, now in the game. CJ Ganya.
Good release.
Short, offensive rebound to J.R. Flores. J.R., by the way, is a returning player in the MPBL. I asked him, hindi ka ba nahirapan mag-transition? At sabi niya, buti na lang nakakapag-training ako since the start of the season with Negros. Sadyang parang Josh Flores lang. Na late lang yung kanyang pagsama sa roster.
Ang maganda naman dun is, ang importante naman dun is yung ma-configure ka at makalibrate ka on how the team plays and how you fit in there. Flores played for Marikina ba?
Bulacan last year.
Bulacan
He was
last year.
witness to the 7 dunks.
Yeah,
of Poy Poy Actu.
so he was there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Kakampi niya si Jem Cruz. So they're reunited actually.
Yeah.
Katakutan at the line. Short on his second free throw. 24-19. Imus is slowly but surely trimming the lead down.
Yep.
Let's check the biggest advantage. It was 10 so far in this game. Imus once upon a time led by 5 in this matchup. Shot clock winding down. Peralta will fire. No good. Rebound, Orin Katakutan. Here he is driving, obtaining the foul. That's free throws for Orin Katakutan.
Well, so far, pinag-usapan natin kanina, high scoring ba itong magiging game na to? Right now, it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah.
Primarily because of the low field goal conversions. Ang baba ng shooting percentage ng Negros. You like to think they'd take more advantage of running in the open floor.
Well, here's my argument. We're basing that conversation through the numbers of these two teams at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Basically, right before this game. Bago na yung lineup eh.
Yeah.
So, iba na rin talaga yung magiging numero.
Could be.
Just so everybody knows, Imus, their average points given in a game is 102.
Yes.
Coming into this matchup, as Sierra Flores just scored, Negros averaged scoring 71 points per game. That's second to the last in the league coming into the Caloocan Sports Complex. As you take a look at the replay, Gayolingo drive and feed onto Flores. So Gayolingo's backing up his very unique jersey number. Way to get known here in the MPBL. Carlo Velasco returns. John Gonzaga is about to check in. J.R. Chavez has already checked in. So he's making his first appearance as a Negros Muscovado. It's been a while since I've seen Gonzaga here in the MPBL. Good to have him back. I think the last time I saw him, he was still with Imus.
Yeah.
Pero matagal na yun. Hindi last year yun. 26-22. J.R. Chavez working with Pio Longa.
And it's hard to keep up with all the changes. Ang daming players na nag-move.
Exactly.
That's the tough part.
And it's not like the NBA kung saan madaling ma-search yung player movement. As Flores scores, kaya dito tatandaan mo na lang eh.
And as you go from game to game, you'll get used to it.
Yeah. Katakutan got his own board. There's the feed. Nice block by Ganya up ahead. Flores is all alone. It's an easy layup.
And, you know, get that defensive rebound and leak out the other way. Yan importante.
8 points for J.R. Flores. So he's tied with Jem Cruz as the leading scorers of the game. Katakutan was challenged very well. That has been the game plan against him.
Never single coverage. Palaging may help side, you know. Even this drive right here.
But that's some good recovery by CJ Ganya. Leading on to this fast break layup for Flores. Instant points off the bench for JR. Now they go to CJ Ganya. 10 on the shot clock. 2 minutes before halftime for Flores. Against Davis. JR handoff to the other JR. Chavez. Short. Out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised JR Chavez really came in late here.
Well, isang training pa lang siya sa Negros.
Okay.
Ga-adjust pa yan. Parang kanina sa Rizal, hindi nila pinasok yung mga bago nila.
Yeah. Pero malaking bagay ito si JR para dito sa Negros.
Sure.
It speeds up a lot of things from them. Fast break, deflections, even on the defensive side.
And he's an all-star.
Yes.
Last year for Marikina as Orin Katakutan scores inside.
Hirap rin talagang pigilan si Orin pag ganun kalapit. Lakas ng katawan, always stays in control.
30-24, Chavez needs a teammate. There's CJ Ganya. Screen by Sam Peralta. Up top, the Flores. 7 on the shot clock. Pio Longa. He will fire. That's
Wow.
good.
Classic Pio right there. Catch and shoot off the 3.
One of the best characters that you would ever meet in Philippine basketball. Pio Longa. Such a nice attitude on that man.
Oh, yeah. He really just loves to play.
Natakutan to Popovich, who drives and feeds. It is going to be a turnover. Ooh, there's a whistle blown. Apparently, there was a kick ball.
Sayang.
Alam mo kung binalik pa ni Chavez yun at kung walang tawag, slam dunk yun kay CJ
Oo.
Ganya. As this three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances, the former UP Fighting Maroon representing his home province. Pio Longa, specialty of the house.
Yeah, and you like the attitude really of Pio. Very humble guy that just has this passion for basketball.
Narinig mo na bang na-mention namin on air that a couple of seasons ago, we were in Bacolod covering a game. And Pio Longa was just watching.
No, I haven't heard
Hindi
that.
pa?
Yeah.
So, we were covering Nueva Ecija versus Bacolod, a game that reached triple overtime and midnight, by the way.
Okay.
And then after the game, there was a guy yelling my name. It was Pio Longa, who's a homegrown there.
Okay.
And then, next year, nakita namin siya, nasa Negros na. And dun niya nakwento, he was actually already training with Bacolod back in season 4, just behind the scenes.
Oh.
Ganun lang. Simple story for Pio Longa as a homegrown. And he has earned his way onto having an MPBL roster spot.
I think the key word there is you earn it, no? Napakasarap if you earn yung spots that, especially here in the MPBL, you get the opportunity to play.
Davis, 0 out of 2 from the free throw line. And here's J.R. Chavez. Nice pass onto Sam Peralta.
Yeah. Diyan naman magbe-benefit yung mga trailers and mga runners on open floor if you have J.R. Chavez.
He might actually change how Negros runs things.
Yes.
11 seconds to go. A miss. Another chance here for Negros. 5 seconds. Ganya onto Chavez. He feeds again. Another nice pass to Sam Peralta.
And we talked about J.R. Chavez changing the game the way Negros does it. That's exactly how it's going to be.
There was a standing ovation from the Negros bench off of that beautiful play. Renz Palma leading all clappers with a ton of high fives as well given to the ones on the floor. We have our leading scorers for Negros, 3 J's, Jera Flores, Jem Cruz, and John Ray Villanueva. So that's 8, 8, and 5 respectively, combining for 21. The lead is 13, 37, 24.
back at the Caloocan Sports Complex for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis, and right now I am joined by two special guests, Sir Rendel Patricio, the team manager of Negros, and of course, Coach Marlon Zambrano of Imus. Magandang gabi po, mga Ginoo. Coach, very promising itong mga bagong players no, sa lineup nyo, pero syempre kailangan pa ng matinding chemistry. Kumusta ba kayo, Coach, sa mga practices ngayon?
Ngayon, ang ganda nung tinatakbo ng ensayo namin. Nasusunod lahat, tapos parang nakikita mo yung bagong team. Excited sila lagi. Maaga pumupunta.
At sana, Coach, makita natin yung energy na yan pagdating ng second half dito. Meron po ba kayong mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, Coach?
Batiin ko lang mga sponsors namin. Si Boss Anya of ES Sports Apparel, GLC Truck and Equipments, Congressman Eric Martinez, Gladiator, AM Graphics, Maestro Sports Academy, saka si Boss Voltaire Ora. Then batiin ko rin anak ko si Aisyon.
Right, maraming salamat. Once again, that is Coach Marlon Zambrano of the Imus Agimat. Sir Rendel, with your continuous hopes of getting into the playoffs, how satisfied are you with this lineup you have right now?
Currently, hindi pa naman yun talaga na satisfied. We're still in the process of making it work. Right now sa practice namin, we're really good. Players na mga na-add namin, especially si John Ray, si Chavez, even yung mga nauna sila Formento at Gabriel, they're actually doing well pagdating sa practice namin. Hopefully, this will show up dun sa mga hopes namin for playoffs. So we're still hopeful.
Napakaganda niyan, Sir Rendel. Meron po ba kayong mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Yes. First of all, yung team owner namin, si Sir John Alfred Gilbor, na andito ngayon, Miss Grace Gilbor, Province of Negros Occidental, Governor Bong Lacson, Vice Governor Jeffrey Ferrer, Anthony Fernando Diaz, Mayor Salvador Escalante Jr. of Cadiz City, Negros Occidental, Axter Marketing and Panisales family, Silver Graces Construction and Construction Supply Management and staff, Chicken and Baboy by Diodin Monillo, Ruel Weber, Arvel Cabaling, and Arky Hoops Apparel.
Right. Maraming salamat. Once again, this is Sir Rendel Patricio of the Negros Mascovados. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Our halftime score is 37-24 in favor of Negros versus Imus as we come back to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex. Coach Mike, our numbers.
Yeah, and see right there, just 37% shooting para dito sa Negros compared to that of 25% for Imus. Mas maraming attempts talaga para dito sa Negros, and a lot of that is coming from the rebounds. You see there, 30 rebounds altogether, 11 offensive rebounds as a +7 offensively, added more points, which relates to the 12 second chance points, which is a +10 in favor of Negros. And again, yung rebounds nila led to more fast breaks, and it means more guys coming off the bench scoring. That's a +13 scoring para dito sa bench nitong Negros over Imus.
Okay, we're gonna see the leading scorers in a while. But I already have a question for you. Sa lahat ng bagong addition in both teams, who has made the most impact?
I think one for Negros, it's JR De Chavez. I feel yung latter part na contribution niya, that's one. For Imus, it's gotta be Orin Katakutan.
Okay. Jera Flores, Sam Peralta, by the way, was the recipient of those passes by Jared Chavez by the end of the second quarter. But Flores and Jem Cruz lead the way in scoring for them. On the other end, it is Orin Katakutan. This should be no surprise that he's leading the scorers of Imus. Carlo De Chavez is up there with him with 5 points to his name. But Orin's going to have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
They're down by 13. This is the biggest deficit that they have faced in this game. And there you go. J.R. Chavez, with his splendid play, by the end of the second quarter, has earned himself early minutes in the third frame. This is only his second day. Second day. Only one training has been done with Chavez playing alongside his teammates with Negros.
Oo. Pagka mahalaga talaga yung contribution mo sa team at nakikita ka agad, pasok ka na.
He just got the steal. And Peralta got fouled again. Sam Peralta's really making the most out of this stint with Negros. He's coming from Sarangani.
At saka he's getting all these opportunities to show up. And tinutulungan siya ng mga kampi niya, lalo na kay JR Chavez.
I asked Coach Bonnie, Coach, paano magbabago ang sistema ninyo? Ang takbo ninyo? Pagkasama si JR Chavez. And he said, ayan, tatakbo kami. Ganun lang kasimple. Kasi nakikita niya daw yung leadership ni JR in terms of controlling the break, knowing when his teammates are. And for him to note down leadership on Chavez's second day, that's very impressive.
Yeah, speaks highly of JR. Just JR, I've covered him also in some of the early leagues that he joined when he was still playing for Rizal, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Yeah. He's been really like that, a leader and a point guard.
Orin Katakutan is at the stripe. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. I want to go back to JR Chavez. You mentioned he's really a leader. He's actually a leader among his friends and everybody else in Rizal because he's playing in the MPBL with a purpose. And he said he is aligned with the league's vision and mission. Nasa team song natin yun yung basketball na muna tayo, iwasan muna ang mga bisyo. That is one of his advocacies here in the MPBL. Napagaya ng araw ang kanyang mga kababayan. And we're just so happy to have him here. We're proud of how far he has come as a little giant of Marikina. He's now a leader in Negros.
Yeah, tsaka definitely na-earn niya yan with all the teams that he's played for. I mean, he's played for Pasay, he's played for Abra. Iba lang yung exposure siguro niya in terms of playing time, pero yung pockets of leadership that you see every time he's on the floor.
Pio Longa was fouled, so he proceeds to the line. 3 free throws for him. Oh, that was short. Might have rushed it.
Baka nagpapainit pa ng konti. Kasi medyo malamig talaga dito sa loob. Now it's getting cold again, right?
Yes. And that is a big nod to Caloocan. Parang mas gumanda pa yung experience natin dito sa Caloocan Sports Complex. And later on, we will feature Batang Kankalu versus Davao Occidental. Let's hope that the crowd will be very much alive once more.
Yeah, and after all, that's a big game. You know, they're gonna go up against Davao.
And Batang Kankalu actually has a losing streak at home.
Yes.
4 straight losses here. Pio Longa onto Peralta. You know how that started? With J.R. Chavez.
Yeah. And you know, hockey pass, finding open guys, drawing defenders, leaving a man open. Ganun talaga. Iba-iba yung, lalo na dito kay JR, he's just very, I guess, skilled at what he does.
Coach Bonnie might have just found his point guard moving forward. As Oren Katakutan was fouled. And that will also count for him. By the way, as we've been praising J.R. Chavez all night long, we also want to give a big nod to Jeff Lorenzo. He started off this game on a good note. He was pressuring James Sanhiro.
Yes.
And he's normally known to be that energy guy as well, coming off the bench. That's what he did for Pasig City.
Actually, yung concerted effort ng lahat ng mga players dito sa Negros is really helping out the new guys na medyo mapadali yung transition nila.
Even the Geolingos of the world.
Yes.
They've done very well. Pio Longa from the corner.
And again, babalik ka dun sa pasa na yun ni J.R. de Chavez. The timing of the pass and where it's passed to, that's very important.
So it won't necessarily reflect on his stat sheet every time. But Chavez already has 5 assists in this game. Chavez, tough layup, no good. Longa is fouled.
Yeah, and all the 4 plays successively, offense and defense, we've always seen JR to be part of it.
That's an assist.
Yeah.
Ang bilis ng ikot ng bola.
O parating pa lang yung bola, alam na niya kung kanino ibibigay.
Pio Longa continues with his own momentum as he proceeds to the line. Carlo De Chavez is back. First free throw is good for Pio. 9 points for him. Now he has a chance to reach double figures. And he is now the leading scorer of Negros, ahead of Raflores and Cruz, who have 9 each. The lead has ballooned onto 18 points. This is the biggest advantage of Negros tonight. And because of that, we have a timeout for Coach Eric C. Our fan of the game is brought to you by Jinky Skin. There you have her at the sideline, looking flawless and beautiful. We do thank her and the rest of the people inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. And to all of you watching us live as well, magandang gabi po sa inyo. This Mixcom is at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez and Nika Abisamis. That was a tough layup.
Oh, yeah.
No good for Carlo Velasco. And we go back with J.R. Chavez leading the way for Negros. Chavez swings, Longa, back up.
Tsaka iba yung iba yung swag no nung pumasok si JR parang okay dito ako pupunta, diyan ka pupunta.
Ganya misfires, ball tapped and recovered by Nem. Forward pass, Hero, no chase down.
Yeah, and much as we talked about Jameson Hero being a guy that's leading yung point guard position para dito sa Imus, hindi mo maalis talagang scoring rin inaasahan sa kanya.
Of course. J.R. Chavez for 3. Short. Rebound Atabay. The 2 former shoemasters working together. And off of the miss, it's Davis with the board. Forward pass to Nem. They're down by 16. De La Cruz will attack. No foul, but there's the conversion.
Well, a good thing he was able to look up the rim before he even made that shot kasi all throughout halos nakayuko eh. Yung galaw ni Jem eh.
Ganya. Back to JR. Chavez. Drive and feed. Pio Longa. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Somehow it brings a different dynamic as a shooter. If you know the guy who's passing it to you, passes at the right angle, at the right speed of the ball, at the right time.
That's one of the underrated arts in basketball. Yung pagpasa ng bola. Nang tama.
Oo. Yung titira ka na lang as a shooter.
Oo. No? May level din yan eh.
Yep.
Diba? Kung ang tanggap mo ba, mataas, mababa,
Yes.
malakas o mahina. I remember that feeling when I was in high school. I had this certain point guard na pag siya yung kasama ko, first step pa lang niya, alam ko na. Makuha ko yung bola. And because of that, na-anticipate ko, mataas yung porsyento ko.
Correct.
And I would like to think that Pio Longa felt the same, especially in that last sequence with how they started this third quarter.
And you can talk to Pio and tell him, when was the last time you started this hot? I think this is one of those times that, you know, he felt really good after release on the catch and on the release. And a lot of that has to do with the quality of passes that he's receiving from JR.
Longa has 13 points in 10 minutes of play. Chavez has 6 dimes in 6 minutes of play. But now those two have taken breathers. Nandito na sina Jem Cruz and John Formento joining Renz Palma, Mark Atabay, and John Gabriel. Off of the turnover, Formento gives it up to Jem, now to the corner. Renz Palma for 3, in and out. Rebound Davis, he's been quite active. 6 boards for him.
And Renz Palma, scoring-wise, has been pretty silent after that really good showing in their last game.
Well, they haven't needed his scoring as much. They're still up by 17. Nem De La Cruz, an air ball.
Well, that one's very flat on that release. Did he have even enough lift? Either on that shot or on that release. Pareho, wala eh.
Halfway done in the third. And now, let's go back to Mika Besamis.
Hoping to win 10 out of 14 games with not a lot of strong contenders anymore on that list except Nueva Ecija. Coach Bonnie Garcia believes the Muscovados have a shot at the playoffs. Natapos na namin ang powerhouse list ng opponents namin. Sabi niya, during this journey, pwede na daw sila maging security agency as he was blessed with 5 legit guards in Felipe Chavez, John Ray Villanueva, John Fermento, JJ Española, and Ditoy Geolingo. Sa bigs, he is relying on Sam Peralta, Ryan Reyes, and John Gabriel. But against Imus, dapat daw talaga silang katakutan. Lagi daw din silang nakakahabol. So mahirap scout, laro lang daw ng laro. So no downtime in the second half. Mix Coach Mike.
Nakakatakot talaga kapag meron kang 5 security guards sa roster mo. Alain mo yun. Hindi ko alam kung creative ba si Mika doon o si Coach Bonnie Garcia sa kanyang sinabi. But to domino onto what Mika said, all the losses of Negros have been against teams with better records. So they have actually handled teams with worse records compared to them. As you take a look at this charge by John Gabriel. We also have to mention Negros had 2 very convincing wins at the start of the season. Pasay and Iloilo. That's a part of their 3-0 start. A lot of extracurricular stuff there, but it hasn't escalated ever since Davis went backpedaling.
With John, no?
Okay, tingnan muna natin to. Agawan. Ang haba nun, ah.
Oo nga.
And then they got tangled up. What? Nangyari pa yun sa last second. Since we were talking about the record of Negros already, I want to include this. Meron silang 4 na talo na close game. Val City, South Cotabato, Quezon City, and Davao. Which means they've been competitive.
Yes. Agree. And mas lalo na yung strong start nila now. They went up 3-0 until they came across Zamboanga. That's when things started to become very difficult. But there are still other teams that they haven't gone up against, which are top tier. If you look at their remaining teams they haven't played with. Haven't played with, yun nga, na-mention na si Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, you could make a case. Binyan is also in there. Paranaque, Calamba, and...
Calamba.
Caloocan, sorry. Caloocan and Manila.
As you just saw, a three-pointer from Carlo de Chavez. Imus badly wanted that. So that they could trim the lead down to 9, 50-41. Let's see the replay. So, since the timeout a while ago, parang nag-iba rin ang energy ng Imus.
Oo, tama. Nag-pick up rin. And lalo na with this 3 right here by Carlo, you're gonna need that run. That's a 5-point run, all in favor of Imus, and they need more of that if they're gonna come back.
We have the next 3 games of Negros, Rizal, Nueva Ecija, and Bacolod. So, of course, that Nueva Ecija game would be very tough.
Yeah.
Rizal would be tough, but it would be more manageable. And moving forward, sabi nga ni Mika sa atin, hindi na ganun kahirap ang schedule nila. But of course, they still could not count out all of their opponents.
Yes.
They themselves are exhibits of lower-seeded teams who have defeated opponents with better records. As Atabay scores inside. That's a good response off of Coach Bonnie's timeout.
Tsaka they're sitting at number 9 right now. And so...
Sama sila dun sa 5-team race.
Teams na naghahabulan pa sa number 8.
Paki-enumerate sa amin, Coach Mike, yung 5 teams na yun.
That's Iloilo, Negros, Muntinlupa, Sarangani, and Mindoro. Yeah. And so, magkakadikit no?
Hard to predict who will make it.
Yes. It's tough.
Because as much as Iloilo's already at that number 8 seed, Sarangani's rising.
Right. The addition of those 2 guys,
Malyari
and
Hayes.
Yeah, that's pretty huge.
And then, who knows what J.R. Chavez can do with his Negros squad. Muntinlupa, that's going to be quite a mystery, especially with Joshua Giap. Now back with JRU. Mindoro naman, they're going to be back home this Saturday. Let's see if that can spark things up for them. As Renz Palma just scored.
Yeah, and Iloilo, you can make a case na, may adjustment period siguro, pero ang ganda rin ang nilalaro nila.
Tsaka, in terms of roster naman, there are good names with Iloilo.
Yes. At saka,
Renz Palma just made a 3-pointer.
That game with Quezon really was a good gauge of who they are and what they can do.
And they even won yesterday on the career day of CJ Cancino.
Yeah.
Turnover, Palma for 2. Nice response by Negros.
Yeah, sa loob-loob siguro ni Renz, mabuti na to. Ang dami ka ng katulong sa team. Hindi katulad dati talagang, trabaho marino talaga. And now it's, guys having different spots on the game.
How about our 2 teams responding off of their own timeouts? The lead is 16. The biggest advantage was 18. And now there is a foul. Our referees will review as to whether or not that basket would count. Then De La Cruz might have a case here. It will count. Then De La Cruz is facing his former coach, Bonnie Garcia. There's the baseline drive. Well, he did not pick the ball up anymore.
Yeah. Tsaka stayed in bounds, importante doon. That bump almost forced him to the sideline, to the baseline.
Flores returns. Nem will shoot the bonus. Oh, he got his own board. One more. Two sorry misses though. A minute and change before the end of the third. 59-45. John Formento. On to Renz Palma. Screen by John. That's a three. No good. Rebound to Davis. That's his 8th board. But Davis hasn't scored. The Chavez spins and misses.
That move looked good. Just rattle out on that attempt.
He could have been in double figures already. Flores, Gabriel up top, Formento. Pass inside, intercepted.
Oh,
Recovery for Imus. 17 seconds. The Chavez, quick shot, short. Ball out of bounds. 11 seconds remaining. Baseline inbound for Carlo Velasco. He goes to Orin. Out of time here. A miss by Katakutan. 5 seconds to go. 1 second. Palma will fire.
ooh.
And it almost bounced in.
That was a good line.
Okay. So Negros did have a nice response after Imus was able to trim the lead down to single digits.
And
Negros actually won this quarter. Pio Longa shot the ball well.
Oo, and karamihan dyan nanggaling din sa mga pasa nga ni JR, and really the value of having a guy like him for a shooter like Pio.
All right, so this third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and the partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX 59-45. Presenting our Suzuki Muscular and Sporty fan of the game. Just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the Muscular and Sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor. Ganun po talaga dapat. Kapag na-feature kayo sa ating Suzuki ad, naka-flex kayo on TV.
Flex complex.
I apologize for that bit of laughter because Renz Palma tried to fool everybody by trying to inbound the ball. Bola talaga ng Imus.
Tapos sabay banggit pa ng stop Katakutan.
Meron siyang mission sa gabing ito, and now we have our quarter scoring.
Yeah, and right there again, a 22-point quarter and 21 para sa Negros and Imus respectively. Well, so far that's been the best scoring quarter. Yung third quarter na yun, nakita natin. A little bit more of urgency on both teams.
Turnover, Katakutan feeds Popovich. It's been a while. He's been gone.
Yeah.
Since the first half. I want to see his minutes. 10 minutes of play so far for Richard Popovich. Only 3 points. Gabriel onto Palma. They swing it over. Flores, 6 on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Steal. Popovich to Katakutan. Orin will drive. Orin 1-2. What a move.
What a move.
So Renz Palma obviously would want some retribution after that play. He did tell us his mission after all just a while ago. And now there's a charge called on John Gabriel.
And you just love players who actually stay in control and playing off 2 feet inside the paint. Kasi normally, lift na kagad yan rise na Ito talagang ginagamit yung lahat ng steps na available
At galing bangga yun
Oh yeah.
Para kay Orin Katakutan.
Tingin ko naman pag binangga ka ni Orin, hindi rin matitira. Argentina.
Oh,
Oo.
here he is backing down against Palma. Help provided, and it's effective. Possession for Negros. Jem Cruz forward to Renz. Palma bounces. Flores escapes. Basket and one.
And Davis is claiming that there's a ward with the left hand. Yeah. I just want to give, as we see this beautiful pass right here leading up to that layup. That was Flores rather. Meron konting sa left hand, but
Pwede i-challenge yun eh.
yeah, pwede siya i-challenge.
And here's the thing, if you challenge the charge, bibigay sa'yo yung charge at mawawala yung basket. But if you challenge the foul, counted pa rin, wala lang foul. There's a difference in that. Dem de la Cruz. In and out, rebound to Flores. Oh, that was a bit of an awkward landing for him.
Sinalo rin lang ni Orin.
That's good sportsmanship by Katakutan.
I agree.
Atabay against Davis. We don't get to see that every day.
Yeah,
A
him
post
posting
move.
up, yeah. Pero alam mo, I was gonna say earlier, I just want to give credit to the staff of Imus for really improving defensively. I mean, nakikita mo iba ngayon, may deflections, medyo nakadiin yung depensa. Sure, they're trailing right now, but this could have been worse, right?
Yeah, they average giving up 100 points.
Yeah. And so for you to put it where it is now,
This free throw, by the way, was brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. So this space is what? Maybe 80?
Maybe 80.
70 to 80?
On a low 90 maybe to finish. But that's still a huge improvement because if you do eye check, kita mo talagang nag-iba yung yung depensa, di ba?
Yeah. Okay, since you have all the numbers here, ano pinakamaraming binigay ng Imus sa isang game? That Davao game.
Yeah.
The 132-68 game.
Yes.
They've given up more than 100 points. Let's count.
I think 6 times.
9 times
There you go.
out of the 15 games. So, again, kudos to them
Yes.
for improving their defense. 63-47. Oren Katakutan in his first game for Imus already has 15 points with 6 boards to his name. And it seems like we have a Katakutan story from Mika Abisamis.
Oren Katakutan is the son of former power forward in the 70s, Israel Katakutan, who is actually the team consultant of Imus. Sir Israel, not here today though. He has some business in the US, but will be back soon. I actually got to talk to Sir Israel when Oren was still playing for Valenzuela, and he talked about how he saw as a child that Oren was already going beyond his expectations. He didn't think he would make it, as Oren is not as tall as him. Sir Israel is really tall. But hey, he shed a tear during Oren's performance at the start of the season. Migs and Coach Mike.
Wow, that's a proud father.
Yeah.
July na, no? So hindi na Father's Day month.
Oo.
But still, nice story from Mika Abisamis. I wonder kung gaano katangkad yung tatay niya. At gaano katangkad yung nanay niya.
Yeah, I don't recall. Well, maybe I was too young back then. Pero I love the father and son connection. Basketball always looking
naman.
after your kid.
Let's do a Google search. Israel Katakutan. By the way, sir, if you're watching, we hope that you're doing well in the States. We hope that your business is handled. There's a foul called on that attack by Renz Palma. Actually, You can easily Google Oren's father. Israel Rick Katakutan. And if you Google Israel Katakutan, you go to images, makikita mo si Oren. Maraming beses.
Oh,
There's your father and son connection.
well, that's nice.
Napatingin tuloy sa cellphone
wow.
si Coach Mike.
Grabe. Mamaya ako nang titingnan. Na-curious tuloy ako sa report ni Mika Because the only Israel I know is Padim.
Sino yun?
Padim Israel is one of the, I guess, a forward that's very lengthy and can do really good defense.
In Philippine
In
basketball.
Philippine basketball, yeah.
Let me give you the time. 6 minutes and 40 to go in this game. 64-47 is the tally. John Formento. Able to escape. Pass a bit too strong for Atabay. Here's Jameson Hero.
Tsaka crowded din yung pasa.
Nice layup by Hero.
Yeah. Really, ang natural position is scoring wing talaga.
Si Hero?
Si Hero, yeah.
Points
Jameson.
guard yan.
Oh, points guard din, no?
Mark Atabay just scored. Hero, by the way, is very well known in Valenzuela. Silang dalawa ni Jeric Diego.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, as Miko Gimpayan has made a three-pointer.
Jeric got traded too, right?
That I have to check. Ang dami masyadong pagbabago sa ating liga in terms of rosters.
No?
We have 5 minutes and 45 remaining. 66-52. Here's Palma. Montura Flores. Renz, tough shot. Good defense by Popovich. He's been known for that, actually. Hero, unable to score. Rebound Velasco. Carlo, kick out. Miko Gimpayan. Three-pointer, short. Ball out of bounds. John Ray Villanueva is back. Here is John Formento working with J.R. Flores. Formento will drive. Formento is fouled. Let's give Coach Mike some time as he evaluates here at the sideline. You know, if you've watched the MPBL long enough, you would know what he's thinking about. Isa lang naman ang kailangang pag-isipan ng analyst by the end game. Formento able to convert from the stripe. There's Coach Bonnie Garcia. It's looking like a promising ending for Negros as they move along in the 6th season of the MPBL. The schedule will be friendlier to them. And this would be their new core moving forward. Jameson Hero blocked by Renz Palma.
Specialty ni Renz Palma yan, yung mga chase down blocks na ganyan.
And you know, him being the leader of Negros, this is a perfect example of his leadership.
Yeah.
Playing defense like that, magdodomino yan sa mga bata niyang kasama.
Oo.
As Popovich just scored 2+1.
Tsaka yung pag-welcome doon sa mga bagong kasama niya. I mean, he's not demanding for anything, ball possessions or what have you. Talagang, sige, laro lang tayo. Let's play within the system kung ano yung sinasabi ni Coach.
Popovich at the stripe, missing his gimme. We've always been intrigued by his last name as you get to see the block story. Negros is #1 in the league after all in blocking, averaging 4 per game. But back to Popovich and his last name. I asked him, since you're not related to Greg Popovich, have you actually looked up to him in your life? And he said yes. He grew up in Australia, and in Australia, the style of basketball is quite similar to the brand of play of the San Antonio Spurs. A lot of passing, a lot of ball movement. And so, it has also taken influence in his own style of play, itong si Richard Popovich. So, yun na siguro yung magiging only connection niya to Greg Popovich.
Yeah. Tsaka, you know, to grow up, ako, lalo na ako, to be a fan of the San Antonio Spurs way of basketball. It's really just a beautiful game that they're
Oh,
playing.
yeah. Remember the 2014 Spurs?
Oo.
Ibang
grabe.
klase yun.
Klase.
Katakutan spins and scores,
That-
making his father Israel proud.
Yep. That true dribble pass, two dribble pass, San Antonio version.
I'll be honest with you, sometimes I watch their highlights just to appreciate basketball even more.
Yeah.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki Spinaroo for Oren Katakutan. He has scored a ton in this game, up to 17. Make it 18 points now for Oren Katakutan with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Almost a steal. The lead is 10, by the way. This is still manageable. Atabay getting the board. Another chance for Negros. Formento. Going right. 7 on the shot clock. They go to the Flores.
Sampulan to.
Oh, there's a foul at the last second for Carlo de Chavez. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, because he was up there defending. Parang sinasabi niya, no, it shouldn't be a call. Pero talaga nga namang very, kasi aggressive rin as a defender si Carlo. And, you know, he's got a lot of confidence in that.
Flores makes his first free throw. Lead is 11. 12 points for JR. If he makes this, he will be tied with Pio Longa as the leading scorers of Negros, but it's a miss. And we're back with Oren Katakutan. He attacks. That's a foul. And do you think at this point it would be a good idea for Oren Katakutan to just get the ball and attack over and over again?
Pwede.
3 minutes.
Yeah. Kasi he's been the one that's consistently scoring. I mean, them on and off a little bit. Hero gets his points normally on leak outs and fast breaks, but when that defense is standing still, you're gonna need Orin to start creating and be the decision maker. Siya na yung pumasa, no?
70-61. It's only a 3-possession game. Renz Palma against Katakutan.
Backdoor.
There's the bounce. Good play. Sorry miss for John Ray Villanueva.
Yeah, that was a good cut though.
By the way, yung ganong klaseng cut, ano yun eh? Parte yun ng kultura ng Batangas.
Yeah.
Ng core ni Coach Cholo.
Right. And you know why?
Why?
Because they're pretty much Princeton in a lot of the offenses that they set.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, since you are a big fan of plays in basketball, saan ang galing ang Princeton offense?
Oh, the coach, yeah.
Coach mismo.
Yeah, it was
Pero Princeton may pangalan niya.
Princeton. Was it Pete Carrill, I think? That was the coach that built that. And so back then when he built that, he was pretty much undersized. He didn't have a legit big man. So he crafted the Princeton offense to allow, you know, players to be moving around constantly.
Sorry, he's named Princeton.
Yeah, Princeton. I think that's from the school or something.
Ah, okay. Thank you for that, Coach Mike. There's a loose ball foul as Imus continues to feel a sense of urgency, down by 8 with 2 minutes and 40 to go at penalty na ating dalawang kuponan. That's why Carlo de Chavez is very upset because free throws will be given to J.R. Flores. I did tell you guys that de Chavez is very animated. He will never shy away from expressing himself. I know.
At saka siya yung defensive guy talaga siya that can actually shoot also from the outside. But primarily, the way he's built, more on defense. Kaya he gets frustrated with those kinds of calls.
Flores unable to convert on his second free throw, but JR now has 13 points. Tied with Pio Longa as the leading scorers of Negros. That's a wild layup by Katakutan. Battle for the loose ball. Possession will stay with the Imus. You know, a basket here could be very scary for Negros.
Yes. I see, a 9-point deficit lang ito eh. You know, and you've got Oren inside. The basket here could make it 6.
Nice pass. De La Cruz fakes. Nem puts it up. No good. Rebound to Flores.
Nakukuha niya yung shots niya, no? Pero the percentage is not so good for Nem.
We're back with Renz Palma. Working with J.R. Flores. 9 on the shot clock. They hand it off to John Formento. Formento, the feed. Atabay will score. These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. And how about Renz Palma getting the steal on the other end?
I think now you gotta go to Orin Katakutan exclusively, I think.
Palma, defended by Hiro. They're up by 11. 5 on the shot clock. Palma backs down. Well, it makes sense.
At saka he was starting to get him inside the paint. And once Hiro's in there, then he's in a lot of trouble against Renz Palma.
He did pick up the foul.
Yeah.
Palma is our third best volume free throw shooter. Ooh. So, ang percentage na this season is 73%. Was that his first free throw tonight? Let's check that. 2 misses.
Wow.
Now he's 1 out of 4, but he just got another steal. Ayun ang pambawi mo.
Oh. And like what we said, Negros is a better team in terms of steals than that of Imus.
Jem Cruz will fire. Short. Rebound Atabay, who then lost the ball. Imus is losing time here.
Yes.
This will be a very crucial timeout. Can they respond after the huddle? Down by 11, 68 seconds remaining. Imus will be in Mindoro this coming Saturday, July 6. After that, they will take on Bulacan and Marikina. But just so everybody knows, that's actually a main event for us. The July 6 matchup between Mindoro and Imus, because it would be only the second time in MPBL history that Mindoro will be hosting. And it's in a new place as well.
Yes.
So, panibagong adventure na naman yan para sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Gabby Espinas will be in action later on in our last game versus the Davao Occidental Tigers. We did see Mac Talio present in the venue. Yes. Later on, we are hoping that he would take part in the game. There's a scramble for the loose ball. Velasco will miss.
Oh, that's a push.
2 free throws will be given. So that at least stops the clock.
Ito, ngayon, free throws na pinaglalabanan dito. Haba pa nito.
First one is good for Nem de la Cruz. They're 17 out of 25 from the line, 68%. Negros is actually shooting worse from the stripe. 12 out of 23, only 52%.
Yeah.
The lead is 9. 56 seconds. Formento against Popovich. John Formento still at it. They will go to Renz Palma. No surprise there. Oh, that's a good defensive sequence for Carlo Velasco.
Yeah. They were actually preparing to set up Raf Flores on the weak side on a post-up. But that happened, so swing it over to Imus now.
40 seconds, 3-possession game.
Look for Orin to get this ball right here and be the one to create.
He's right in front of Carlo de Chavez.
He's gonna want that ball.
Katakutan. He's gonna drive. And then, there's another foul. 2 free throws.
Yun ang magiging challenge mo naman kay Orin kasi he's a strong-bodied player that can put the ball on the floor and can finish through contact. So, kailangan mo bantayan lahat yung sitwasyon na yun.
First free throw is good. Katakutan, by the way, is 11 out of 13 from the line.
Wow. So, this is not over yet. I mean, if you ask me, every time you send that guy to the line, it's almost a secure free throw make.
There you go. 2 conversions. Katakutan has 22 points, 73-66. Imus closing in. Remember, they haven't won a game this season as of yet.
Gotta get a foul, stop the clock.
Carlo de Chavez. Check that. It's Carlo Velasco giving it up. So now Palma will go back to the line. He missed his last 2 free throws after I said that he's the 3rd best in the league. There you go. He continues to struggle.
Yes. That's his, what, 3rd, 4th straight miss?
3rd. Second one is still no good. But he got the ball again. Much like what happened a while ago.
Yes. Oh, I got a foul again, yeah.
Now it's Jan Formento who will be tested. Let's see his free throw shooting. 2 out of 3. It's been a mysterious game for Renz Palma.
Yeah.
Although he has played well, relatively speaking. I'll give you his stat line. Renz Palma has 8 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks.
Wow.
Another try here for Jan Formento.
Pero ano yun, kumbaga medyo silent na ano yun mga contribution niya no?
Ni Renz Palma.
Oo, ni Renz.
75-66, Nem de la Cruz. Trying to escape the defense of Renz. He does. Layup. But there are only 5 seconds remaining. That should do it. And so the Negros Muscovados get back-to-back victories. They move up to 6 wins and 10 losses. While Imus, even though they have shown much promise in this game with this new lineup, they will go down to 0 wins and 16 losses.
Yeah, and much as we understand that they lost this game, speaking of Imus, they show that they're so much better a defensive team now compared to how they were before, considering the new guys that came in. And napakalaking tulong nun sa kanila.
We have our best player of the game brought to you by Manny Pacquiao's MPBL, J.R. Flores, with a double-double of 13 points and 11 rebounds. But we'd like to give some shout-outs to Pio Longa. 13 points, 3 threes for him. Renz Palma just gave you the overall stat line for the veteran of Negros, with a couple of blocks and steals to go alongside his 8 boards and 4 dimes. 8 points as well for Renz. And how about J.R. Chavez? Limited minutes, only 7 minutes. He had 6 dimes.
Yeah.
This final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. Alright, let's turn you over to Mika Besamis.
Maraming salamat. Kasama ko ngayon ang Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Best Player of this game. Walang iba kung hindi si J.R. Flores. J.R., naging collective effort naman itong larong to ng mga teammates nyo, lalo na kay Pio Longa, credit sa kanya. Pero alam mo, ito yung inaantay mong makuha matagal na, nababalik yung rhythm mo, at ito na nga, yun ang pinakita mo sa amin dito sa larong ito.
Sinisimulan ko lang sa ensayo. Extra work palagi kasi tagal ko rin nawala sa basketball. Kumbaga, ensayo wala. Ayun lang, extra effort lang talaga sa practice.
Pangatlong laro mo pa lang to kasama si Coach Bonnie with a double-double performance, 13 points, 11 rebounds. Kumusta ka sa sistema niya?
Okay naman. Sinasabi niya lang palagi sa akin na huwag ako mag-focus sa score, rebound lang, depensa. Ayun lang yung ginagawa ko na sinasabi niya.
Ay, meron ka ba mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan, JR?
Siyempre, unang-una binabati ko yung wife ko, si Pat, si Brianna, si Brielle, si Mama, si Papa na nanonood ngayon, at yung mga boss namin, si Boss John Gilbor, lahat ng sponsors namin, si Boss Ruel, sino pa ba? Yun lang. Maraming salamat.
Right, once again, our Manny Pacquiao's MPBL best player of this game is J.R. Flores. Migs and Coach Mike.
That is the smile of a guy who's just happy to be back playing basketball in the MPBL. Congratulations to J.R. Flores. Welcome back to you, sir. And congrats to Negros, who have a lot more to go in their season, although it's a manageable schedule as described to us by Mika and Coach Bonnie. Let's see how they can perform moving forward. But up next, we have such a nice matchup for you guys. Caloocan Batang Kankalu will defend its home court against the Davao Occidental Tigers. Thank you for joining us. For Mika Abisamis and Coach Mike Perez, my name is Mix Gomez at magbabalik pa po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League ng Liga ng Bawat Pilipino.